How's you going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. We're down at the boathouse today because I got problems. Let's go have a look. So apologize for the lighting in here, but we're inside the boathouse now, and I got the door closed because I want to try and keep the bugs out. But I'm sitting on top of my well enclosure, my pump enclosure. Those who have watched the channel, I think, understand about this system that I have, but for those who are just new or need an update, I'd like to give you just a quick update. First of all, the boathouse here, 2-3 years ago when Hurricane Fiona came through, I had a big spruce tree land on top of the boathouse and destroyed it. So I had to more or less build the boathouse again, rebuild it from ground up. And when the boathouse was damaged, it also compromised my well enclosure here, my pump enclosure. What I have here underneath this cabinet, that looks like, is I dug a pit about 6 foot deep, and that was deep enough, and I put 30-inch well crock in it, 30-inch diameter well crock. And that was deep enough so that the level of the lake, the water level in the lake, tended to be the same water level as in these crock. So then I have a pump in here with a suction line that goes down into the crock, and I draw that water for my outside water at the camp. Now we have a bored well for domestic water in the camp for drinking and cooking and bathing, things like that. But for any outside water sources like washing the car, washing the buildings, water in the gardens, anything like that, then we always drew water from this well here. When I first installed it, it worked good, but then over the summer the level of the lake goes down. Sometimes it can go down as much as a foot. And when that happened, it ended up, I didn't have as much of a reservoir in the crock for water as I needed, because one time we were watering the gardens here and the pump went dry. So what I did then to solve that problem was I added a second suction line, and I just take that now and I throw it in the lake. So in the summertime I can pump direct from the lake, and we never have to worry about running out of water. So even in the driest of summers, we had nice lush gardens and flower beds because we could keep them watered well. So anyway, yeah, that's the story of that. Under here, I've got a pump and a suction line into the crock with a T on that suction line that goes out to the lake. Originally when I built it, it was insulated with 3.5-inch fiberglass insulation with vapor barrier, and I had a 500-watt electric heater in here with a thermostat, and it kept everything nice and warm, never froze. Never had to worry about it freezing, ever. And that was lasted for 15, 16 years, right? And then when I rebuilt it after Hurricane Fiona, I thought, well, I'm going to make it better. There I go thinking again, eh? So I used 3 inches of styrofoam insulation. And I wanted to use styrofoam insulation because, of course, we had mice and squirrels and critters in here, and they were all into that insulation and digging it all up and everything. So I thought styrofoam, plus the insulation would get wet, you know, from the pump. Pump always leaks, and it would, you know, water would run across the floor of the enclosure here and get into the insulation. Fiberglass is great for soaking up water. It's like a giant sponge, and it never dries out. So I thought I'm going to put styrofoam insulation in here because it's critter resistant and its water repels water, so that's going to be great. So I put 3 inches of styrofoam insulation with vapor barrier, and then I only used a 250-watt electric heater in here. And between the combination of the styrofoam and only 250 watts of heat, it didn't work out too good because my pump froze last winter. So what I'm up to today is I'm going to raise this cover. We're going to have a look at the pump. I'm going to see if I can disconnect it from the system in there because I want to take it up to the shop, see what I can salvage off it. Because I also have the old pump still that was in the pump, the pump enclosure. That pump it's not working great either. That's why I replaced it. But maybe between the two of them, I can find enough parts and pieces that I can put together a workable system, because we want to get outside water here again at the lake. So we're going to open this up today and remove that the pump that is broken, that's damaged. So let's do it. So the way we get access, this just lifts up. So here's the styrofoam insulation, and it doesn't fit all that tight either, right? So I expect this was well, I know it got cold because it got cold enough to freeze and break my pump. So below this deck that I'm standing on here, there's the well crock, and those well crock, the top of those are lower than the floor of the boathouse. So I have a little knee wall installed here that goes all the way around, and I'm putting my hand down in there now, and I can feel drafts around this part, even though I have vapor barrier wrapped down in there. But I'm thinking that had got probably drafty, and that's why the pump froze. But anyway, this is my pump. The casting, I don't know whether you can see it, but we'll see it better when we get up to the shop. The casting where the pump seals to the motor is broken. So I'm going to try to remove this. So to remove it, I'm going to shut this line off, not that that matters, but that's the water line outlet. So we're going to let these hoses go here. So we're going to let these water clamps or hose clamps go. Take the heat gun. Warm this up. So that's the outlet line released. The other line is here. This is the suction line. So we'll try to get it off now. There we go. So the only thing left now is the electrics. And the electrics are turned off, by the way, in case you're wondering. Okay, I think the pump is free. So we're going to take this pump up to the camp now, up to the shop I mean. Well, here's my pump, and you can see here the casing where the flange on the motor connects to the pump just split apart. I'm glad the pump housing didn't split, because maybe I could get a new flange, I don't know. I'm going to try and take the motor off of this for now though, and see what we make out. This is a nice pump, too bad that it froze. So I'm faced with the issue of do I strip out all the insulation, put a new heater and new insulation and everything down at the boathouse? Or do I do, well, I guess that disconnects pretty easy. Yeah, do I strip all the insulation and re-insulate everything down there? Or do I just drain everything out in the fall? I don't know. This has been running for quite a while with the casing broke, because I was noticing the other day my power bill seemed quite high. So what I did was I thought I'd better investigate that, so I went down to the boathouse, and that's when I found out my pump was sewered. You know, all I need is this flange. I wonder if I could ever find a flange. I don't know. So my water pump was damaged beyond repair. I searched all afternoon the other day online on the internet trying to find pump manufacturers, pump parts suppliers and whatnot, water pump suppliers, to try to find the flange that goes here between the pump motor and the actual pump itself. This flange in here, that's the part that broke. Couldn't find any suppliers. So I contacted Canadian Tire, sent them an email, figured why not, you know, try it. Well, geez, they got back to me right away. And they told me that because this is a complete sealed unit, they don't supply the parts for it. And even from the manufacturer of the pump, they just buy it from a third-party provider of pumps. They can't get those parts either. So I was out of luck. What I had to do in order to get my system working again was go buy another pump. So here's the pump. It's a nice unit, eh? It's small, compact. I like that because the spot I had to install it at the boathouse, it was like small and compact, so this fit well. It's a 1/2 horsepower, totally enclosed electric motor. The motor that I have, or the supply I have down at the boathouse, it's a 220 supply, so we have to switch this over to 220, and this is super simple to switch over. I know that because this is the exact same pumps I had before. We just take this cover off and there's a toggle switch in there. You switch it from 110 to 220. What could be simpler, right? It has its own pressure tank. The pressure tank is probably pressurized to 20 psi. I'm not sure about that. It's probably in the manual here. And it comes with a nice manual. The manual is well written, easy to understand, even though this pump was made in China. It has a pressure gauge. It's got a fitting here, nice braided stainless steel hose that goes down to the pressure tank, and nice fittings on the pressure tank, and that should be good. I'll have to put an elbow on here. This is the supply that I take off the tank. So this will be supplied, the water line that comes off here. The inlet for the pump is here. Yeah, nice unit, nice small compact unit. Pressure switch is preset to 20 and 60 psi. So we're good to go. All I have to do is I'm going to take this cover off here right now, and we're going to switch it over to 220. Here's our little toggle switch. It's set at 110 right now, so we slip that there till it says 220, and we're good to go. That's just how easy it is to switch this over to 220. And I recommend, if you have a 220 volt service where your pump is, that you wire it to 220. The amount of power used by the pump will be the same, because this I think is 6.6 amps at 110 or 3.3 amps at 220. So if you do the power calculations, they're the same. But when you have 220 volts trying to start the motor, that gives you more starting torque than what 110 does. So it works, it's more efficient at 220. Well, I'm sorry, this has turned into quite a long video, and I don't like making two-part videos, but this is just, I think it's going to be just too long to make it all one video. So we're going to have to call it here, and in the next episode, we'll continue on down to the boathouse, and we're going to install this pump and get it running, and hopefully it'll work okay, right? But anyway, thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate your time. I hope you don't mind me making this into two videos. But, you know, unless you wanted to sit down for like a half hour or more, it's going to end up being two videos. So thanks for watching. Take care. Have a great week wherever you are. I hope you don't have any water pump problems. And we'll talk to you soon.